Unfortunately, I do not I cannot read Japanese, but it looks like ooh, a level 1. Okay, I guess we have to wait for translations, but there's a level 1 main deck monster and 2 new synchros. So okay, before we look at the effects here, because we're gonna have to wait for translations, as someone, I like Cool Tune. I think it's a really cool deck. I was hoping for 3 things from the new support. I was really hoping for a new main deck monster. I was really hoping for a high level synchro monster. And I was hoping for a new consistency spell card. And I got 2 out of 3 things, it looks like, if they're good cards. The reason why I want a high level monster, this one is level 10, which is perfect. The reason why I wanted a high level Cool Tune synchro is because I really think they should make use of the new Dragon Tuner hand trap, which is a level 7 tuner. So if you have the new Dragon hand trap, it's a level 7 tuner on the board, you can now turn that into a synchro, hopefully, unless this needs a Cool Tune as like material. But I guess we have to wait for the translations to fully know what these are gonna do, right? The level 1 first translation looks to be crazy. Oh, level 1 light tuner spotted. Oh, wait. Can you search this? Can you search this with the Blue Eyes card? Can we play the Blue Eyes card as consistency? Or was that spellcaster only? Maybe it is a spellcaster, I guess. Or was it just light tuner? I forgot. Let me see. I'm looking for the post. Add a level 1 light tuner from your deck to your hand. Oh yeah. If that card is good, we can just play this in Cool Tune as a Rhoda for it. Interesting. All right. It's also Cybers. Wait, it's Cybers? No. Why would they do this? Okay. I guess we wait for the translations. There's no point in staring at these without knowing what's going on at all. We have to wait and see, I suppose. We have to wait and see. These are crazy. I mean, I will say, I do think, all things considered, Cool Tune was always the archetype with the highest potential out of the set, because it just feels like the most modern Yu-Gi-Oh type deck, right? It's like it was just lacking some more cards, but it was always like the most promising strategy, I suppose. Scaling both Solfegius is an easy 1-card combo if you play Beyond the Pendulum. Oh, okay. I want to know those Cool Tunes effect first, though. Someone has posted a translation in my Discord server. I can't guarantee that it's correct, though. This is what's been posted on my Discord. I guess we can take a look at that. Hopefully it's a correct translation. Killer Tune B2B, which is the level 10 synchro, requires a tuner and 1 or more synchro monsters. You can use this card's third effect up to twice per turn. Increase the level of all monsters your opponent controls by 2. During the same battle phase, your tuners can make up to 2 attacks. When your opponent activates a monster effect, you can target a tuner, except the level 10 in your grave, or that's banished, add it to your hand, or special summon it, then you can synchro summon a synchro monster. Okay. They already have this increase your opponent's level by 2 thingy on other cards. I think one of the other synchros also does it, so that's just going to help in some matchups. Making 2 attacks makes it very easy to kill. The third effect is pretty cool. The third effect is pretty cool because you can recycle your tuners, and then they also give you extension and then also a synchro summon on the opponent's turn. I think that is cool. That's pretty good too. The only thing that I don't like about this is that it needs a synchro monster as the other material. So if you want to use the new dragon hand trap, if you want to play the new the level 7 dragon hand trap in this deck, you'd have to make a level 3 synchro next to it to make this, which you can, but all right. Killer Tune Crackle, Thunder synchro tuner level 5, Killer Tune Clip plus a tuner. You can only use the 1 and 2 effect once per turn. If this card is synchro summoned, check your opponent's extra deck, banish 1 card from it until the end phase face up. Then this card gains attack equal to the attack of the banished monster. Okay, leaning into this strategy, I suppose, with Cool Tune Clip as well. where this one is a lot more powerful than clip because it's targeted. Like you can look at it and banish one. And the craziest part is because you're making this with clip. You're making this with clip, which is a random extra deck banish. What you can do is you can put this one as chainlink 1, clip as chainlink 2, and then clip is going to banish a random card. And then with the information of what the clip has hit, you can also use crackle to then banish another one. That's really powerful and potentially really toxic depending on the matchup. Like, I don't know, let's say, for example, you play against a deck that plays like 2 snatchies, right? Let's say you play, let's say they play 2 snatchies in Yummy, and then you go, well, my clip hit a snatchy randomly, and then I see that when I check the extra deck, and then I just banish the second one. But if I don't hit the snatchy, let's say I hit another like random card, then I go for Kapsi Yamiway instead, because I know, you know. Okay. If this synchro summon card is sent to the grave, you can special summon this card, then you can apply the following effect. Check your opponent's extra deck and banish 2 cards from it face up until the end phase. Okay, so what you're trying to do with this, I guess, is you're trying to summon it and then immediately synchro it off on the opponent's turn, and that gives you 3 banishes from the extra deck. It's temporary. It's temporary because it's only until the end phase. You're not taking apart your opponent's extra deck forever. But this can very well be just a turn skip, depending on the matchup, which is really, really strong. But it's turn 0. I mean, how can you summon this on turn 0 and then immediately synchro it off, though? How do you do that? Hop Ear? Do they play Hop Ear Squadron? Your 3 copies of Arthalion are only banished temporary. You see, you say that, you make it sound as if that was like a huge problem, actually, because, and it's funny because that's exactly not the case. Like, if you're playing against Draco Tail, it makes a huge difference whether you banish that shit forever or just until the end phase. Because, like, if my opponent does this, like, let's say I go, I don't know, activate Ketu and my opponent starts, like, banishing my Arthalions or whatever, searching a 5 mana and then passing is like actually okay. Like there are matchups where that doesn't really matter that much, because you're just gonna get 5 mana on your turn then, and they still like summon Arthalion and win the game likely. So like it's genuinely not as broken depending on the matchup, but there's definitely matchups where it's gonna completely fuck them up. Like taking away Yummy, like all the snatchies from Yummy for 1 turn, for example, is pretty crazy. Because there's no way to make a snatchy. Actually, there is a way to make snatchy on the opponent's turn. I think one of the bad cards has that effect. One of the bad Yummy cards can do it, but none of the cards they play, obviously. Okay. Killer Tune Rotary, Cyber's Tuner level 1. If this card on the field is used, you can also use a tuner from your hand. You can only use each of the first and second effect once per turn. You can reveal this card in your hand and a tuner in your hand. Immediately after this effect resolves, synchro summon a tuner. Reveal this card. Is this translation correct? The translation is wrong. Oh, okay. It is normal summon a tuner, not synchro summon. Oh, okay. You can reveal this card in your hand and a tuner in your hand. Immediately after this effect resolves, normal summon a tuner. Oh, it is like Jokul. Okay. So you normal summon the other tune. Oh, that's good. If this card is sent to the grave as synchro material, place a card from your opponent's grave on the bottom or look at your opponent's hand. Then you can add a killer tune spell trap from your deck to your hand. Why are we looking? Why are we looking? Why do we get to look? What does that have to do with the other effect? Why do these decks get hand knowledge all the time? This is strong support. I will say that much. This is very strong support. I still, like, here's the thing. I'm not sure how much it matters to banish stuff temporary, depending on how much it depends a lot on how easily this deck can close out the game on the next turn. But why the toxic direction? I don't know. I think a temporary banish from extra deck is not that toxic. I think some of the things you're saying right now is a little bit of an overreaction. I think this deck is going to function on a different axis. It's going to try to win the game like in another way than what you're used to, but I don't know. I think it's somewhere in the middle, because like banishing face up and temporary is not the same as Kashtira Unicorn. It's not a Kashtira Unicorn level. It's hella grindy. So the way I imagine this deck playing is your win con is trying to resolve your synchro summons over and over and over again to like interrupt your opponent, but you need some way to live through the turn, because the actual killer tune interruptions are not that crazy, right? Like you're getting a pop and whatever else there was. Like there's not that many things that this deck does in terms of like board impact, right? It doesn't impact the board that much or that well, right? You have some removal in killer tune, but not enough, right? So you're not stopping your opponent from popping off is the problem with this deck, right? And so like in order to survive the turn, what you're supposed to do is banish your opponent's most important like extra deck monsters until the end phase, so that you don't get completely full comboed on, I suppose. Which I think on paper isn't. I don't have a huge issue with that game plan. This deck invalidates Yummy. The level increases banish from extra. Yummy cannot function in a format where this is good. Yeah, but at the same time, this is coming out when Yummy's already been murdered in the OCG, bro. This is coming out when Yummy Yummy already has one Snatchy in the OCG, and when we get these cards, it's also not going to be full power Yummy format. Like that's just not going to be the case. Just nib them, lol. Support is okay at best. That's a crazy thing to say. The support is obviously good. These are obviously good. That's besides that is not even a question. These three are crazy. Okay, let me just say that right now. Like this is good support. This is good support. I think that's not arguable. I think what is arguable is whether you like the playstyle of this deck or not, which I guess it's a polarizing playstyle. I definitely see that. It's a polarizing playstyle. At the same time, I don't even know why people are so surprised by this, because this is obviously the route that they were kind of taking with this deck. Like if you read Cool Tune Clip, I think Cool Tune Crackle makes sense. Like this was the direction they took this deck. It's not supposed to like destroy your opponent's entire board or whatever. It's trying to win the game on another axis, which I've always been a fan of this kind of play style, but like I also don't know why we're getting free hand knowledge on this card, to be honest with you. I think this card could have been completely fine if it just added a killer tune spell trap from your deck to your hand, but I think this is exactly what they needed, honestly, to make it playable. Like we have another starter that's also an extender that also gives you the killer tune spell trap, which is really good. We have an actual way to survive a combo player's turn with killer tune Crackle, because you banish some important combo pieces until the end phase, which is not going to win you the game on the spot. It's just going to make it so that your opponent's turn is not as broken, depending on the matchup. In some matchups, like Yummy suffers a lot from this. Against Yummy, this is crazy. The official translations are now out. Okay, let me check if anything is wrong. To double check. They're still not on YG.org. How miserable is the mirror? Probably not that miserable, because from what I've seen, they play multiple of each of the extra deck monsters. So let me just double check real quick. This is the same. Yeah. Okay. Rotary is... yeah. Reveal this card and one other tuner in your hand. Immediately after it resolves, normal summon a tuner from your hand. Blah, blah, blah. Place a card from your opponent's grave to the bottom. Look at the opponent's hand. Add a... yep, okay. Well, the level 10 is still missing. Yeah, these are also not the official translation, but it is what it is. Yeah, it seems like the rest was correct. The rest was correct. The level 10 is also on their website. Levels are increased by 2. Tuners can make a second attack. When your opponent activates a monster effect, target a tuner in your grave or banishment, add it to your hand, special summon it, then you can synchro summon. Okay. Okay, well, I think these are strong without a doubt. I think they will at least make people look into Cool Tune for now, you know? Like, I don't know if it's going to be top tier with this, but it's definitely going to get a lot better and maybe like at least viable, I think. Like viable is a good word to use. I think this is now a working strategy. It's now a working strategy and it's no longer just like an uncohesive pile of cards that doesn't really do enough, which is cool in my book. The play style is going to be very polarizing. This is the type of deck where like some people are really going to hate playing against it because extra deck rips. At the same time, like one thing you have to realize is that extra deck rips, temporary extra deck rips as part of your strategy are really dangerous when you're going second. Like, of course, if you open clip, you can do it on turn 0, at least a little bit. But like when your opponent has already built a board, then you know, I don't know what do you want to do? Look at their extra deck and take away something? What is the turn 0 line they have? The turn 0 line is not that strong. The turn 0 line is just clip with another tuner. Because clip with another tuner makes 1 level 5 synchro on turn 0. Which is not that crazy.